Today on Public Eye News, the village of Laurium receives $45,000 to build a splash pad this summer. But first, we'll have everything you need to know about John James's bid and the race for Michigan's next governor.
Coming up, Dylan Dubé will have your weather forecast where he'll look into conditions for the next couple days. Later, he'll also bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Toby Camilli.
And I'm Aubrey Huddleston, and this is Public Eye News. Republican U.S. Representative John James is throwing his hat in the ring in a bid to replace Governor Whitmer in the 2026 election. In a statement released to social media, Representative James said, "It's time to get Michigan's government out of fantasy land and back to common sense," saying that with President Trump's help, he'll, quote, "return sanity back to the state," end quote. James won his current House seat by a narrow margin in 2022 and held on to it this past November. James joins the bid for governor alongside Republican candidates like Eric Nesbitt and Democratic candidates like Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson and Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist II, and independent candidate and Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan. And a new mixed-use and co-working space is coming to downtown Ishpeming. The borough will be hosting an open house tomorrow, April 9th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. This event will offer a variety of activities for the whole community, and goers are encouraged to grab a mocktail and peruse the used book selection while crafting a paper bloom as part of the Together We Bloom community art installation. The borough will also offer a private co-working space for members to schedule calls and host meetings. More information on the space can be found on the Borough 906 Facebook page.
Bay College Iron Mountain and Borderland Arts are coming together to launch the Iron Mountain Community Gallery. The gallery will showcase local art, starting with the inaugural exhibition titled Spring Renewal, a contemporary look into spring in Michigan. The exhibition will feature works from Borderland art members celebrating spring through a range of different artistic styles. The event is free and open to the public and will open next Tuesday, April 15th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Bay College Iron Mountain. Michigan's inland fishing guides are reminded that they are required to have a sport fishing guide license for trips on the state's lakes, rivers, and streams. Guides must complete a two-step process to obtain their license: DNR approval followed by purchasing the license online. The license is valid for 3 years and costs $150 for residents and $300 for non-residents. Guides must also meet safety standards and report their monthly catch activity. For more details, visit the Michigan DNR website. The village of Laurium has received a $45,000 grant from the Keweenaw Health Foundation to go towards supporting the Splashing Through Laurium splash pad. The project will be built at George Gipp Recreation Area. Laurium also received a $20,000 grant from the Copper Shores Community Health Foundation in January. This is part of the village's ongoing Get Active initiative, which aims to offer more recreational opportunities for all ages. The village will soon share design plans for the splash pad. And with less than 24 hours until the Trump administration's new reciprocal tariffs are set to take effect, threats of retaliations are escalating between the U.S. and China. Natalie Brand has more from the White House. Take a look.
President Trump says he's waiting for China's call. On social media this morning, he wrote China wants to make a deal badly, but they don't know how to get it started. Comes after his threat Monday to ratchet up tariffs on China by an additional 50% unless Beijing withdraws threats of a retaliatory tariff against the U.S.
I have a great relationship with President Xi. I hope it's going to stay that way. I have great respect for China, but they can't do this with just we're going to have one shot at this.
China said overnight pressure and threats are not the right way to make a deal, adding if the U.S. insists on engaging in a tariff and trade war, China will fight to the end.
必将奉陪到底.
My message is negotiate this as quickly as possible.
Bob Hemisoth is a fifth-generation corn and hog farmer in Iowa.
How important is China to you?
Well, China's always been a good trade partner for agriculture. My concern, wondering if that market's going to continue to stay there. Whenever we get in these kind of situations, these trade wars, as we saw in the last one in 2018, China looks elsewhere for those products.
The Trump administration has said it's open to negotiating. The president's trade representative is on Capitol Hill trying to ease concerns from lawmakers of both parties.
Tariffs are used. We all know agriculture is usually the first place of retaliation.
Trade Representative Jamison Greer says the new tariffs are already bearing fruit.
Nearly 50 countries have approached me personally to discuss the president's new policy and explore how to achieve reciprocity.
Zimbabwe has also said it would scrap tariffs on U.S. goods, and the EU has said it will eliminate tariffs on industrial goods and cars if the United States does the same. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now don't touch that dial. Dylan will be right back with your weather forecast after this short break.
2, 3, and 1.
James Brown, George Clinton,
Sly and the Family Stone.
Funk is something that takes you over.
A history that goes back to the spiritual.
Funk got the whole world dancing. You certainly couldn't contain it culturally, and you couldn't contain it geographically either.
Funk is the DNA for hip-hop. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, just lose yourself in it, and that was the thing.
We Want the Funk, April 8th at 9/8 Central on PBS and the PBS app.
Welcome back. I'm Dylan Dubé here with your Public Eye weather forecast. Starting things off with the roof cam, we can see that the skies are starting to clear up. We got some of that light blue color, and on the ground we still got a little bit of snow, and unfortunately it's still here for a little bit more. Taking a look at the UP, we can see that Houghton, it is 32 degrees and sunny. It's going to be 34 degrees and sunny in Ironwood, 33 degrees and partially sunny in Iron Mountain, and 35 degrees and cloudy in Menominee. Taking a look at the eastern side of the peninsula, it's going to be 34 degrees and cloudy in Escanaba. We're going to have a little bit of a wintry mix in Manistee with a temperature of 29 degrees. It's going to be 26 degrees and sunny in the Sioux, and it's going to be 29 and cloudy in our lovely Marquette. With a more in-depth look at Marquette, the winds are going to be coming in at north-northeast at 10 miles per hour. We're going to have a barometric pressure of 30.16 inches and falling. And if we looked at tonight, the winds are going to be coming in at south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. We're going to have conditions of cloudy, and it's going to be a low of 18 degrees. And our moon phase is going to be a waxing gibbous. And then tomorrow, conditions are going to be mostly cloudy as that sun starts to peek out just a little bit. We're going to have a high of 40 degrees, a low of 30 degrees, and those winds are going to be coming in at southeast at 11 miles per hour. And looking ahead at the latter half of our week, on Thursday, it's going to be 41 degrees, and it's going to be a low of 28 degrees as we have those clouds roll in yet again. Friday, we're going to have a high of 44 and a low of 30 as that sun starts to peek out with some mostly cloudy conditions. And the same thing Saturday, mostly cloudy conditions. The sun's going to continue to peek out. We're going to have a high of 56 and a low of 39 degrees. That's all I have for weather. Now back to the desk for some more statewide news.
Thank you for that weather report, Dylan. I'm very excited about this weekend's warmer temperatures. And now looking into some more statewide news. The second phase of a transportation survey is being conducted by the Michigan Department of Transportation alongside the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments. Randomly selected households throughout the state will be contacted via mail to participate in the MI Travel Count Survey, which covers day-to-day travel around Michigan. The data collected from this anonymous survey will provide information to transportation planners so they can better understand where, when, and why people travel. Last conducted in 2015, the results of this updated survey aim to account for recent changes in travel, particularly in relation to remote work and an increase in online shopping and rideshare services. And the DNR has partnered with the Food Bank Council of Michigan to help fight hunger throughout the state. This partnership supports the Hunters Feeding Michigan program, which allows hunters to bring their deer to participating processors who will then distribute the game to families facing food insecurity. Each deer donated can provide an estimated 160 meals to those in need, and if you're looking to donate a deer to the cause, Soderman's Processing in Gladstone is a participating location. A full list of processors can be found on the Michigan DNR website. And new studies show that letting your mind wander may be beneficial, and there's now signs that even AI can be biased. With the day's top health stories, here's CBS's News' Michael George.
A new study raises red flags about AI's role in healthcare. Researchers at Mount Sinai found artificial intelligence bots treating patients with the exact same symptoms gave different treatment advice based on the person's demographics and socioeconomic background. Wealthier patients were steered toward diagnostic procedures in cases where poorer patients were told they didn't need more testing. AI is trained using information from people, so experts say it's vulnerable to the same biases. 2/3 of minors in the U.S. live in areas with abortion restrictions. A study by Rutgers finds 7 million girls aged 13 to 17 live in states with abortion bans, limits, or parental involvement requirements. Doctors caution that could lead to more young people seeking care outside their home state. And letting your mind wander can actually be a good thing. A study by the Society for Neuroscience found when people performed simple tasks, letting their mind wander didn't hurt their performance. In some cases, they actually performed better. But researchers say more complex tasks require a more focused mind. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News.
After this short break, Dylan will be right back with a sports report you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.
The Roots have inspired me. Just how genre-bending they've been, epic, iconic collaborations.
These institutions sort of have an understanding that it's a new day.
I would have loved to seen groups that I grew up admiring in houses like this.
This is a genre of music that really shapes us as people.
Throw your hands up. Get 'em up. Throw your hands up.
Tuesday, April 8th at 10:30.
Welcome back to your Public Eye Sports Breakdown. I'm still Dylan Dubé. Taking a look at the green, the NMU women's golf team endured a grueling 9-hour outing at the ODU NC4K Classic yesterday. The Wildcats played 27 holes, wrapping up their full first round and most of the second before darkness fell, with some finishing as late as 8 p.m. in chilly mid-40s temperatures. NMU currently sits at 16th place at plus 93 overall, with a round 1 score of 353 and a plus 28 start to round 2. 3 Wildcats, Maggie Pietola, Maddie Martins, and Haley Bolander, are tied for 48th at plus 19 after 27 holes, with Pietola bouncing back from a rough first round with a strong plus 3 in her second. The team returned to the course at noon today as they look to finish out the second day of the competition with their heads held high. And from fairways to fastballs, the Detroit Tigers toppled the New York Yankees 2 days in a row with a decisive 5-0 win today and a comfortable 6-2 victory yesterday. The frigid Motor City temperatures may have chilled out the Yankees, but it was Casey Mize who ultimately froze them. Mize pitched 6 instrumental innings, only allowing 1 run, 4 hits, and striking out 6. Andy Ibanez would lead the strike force for Detroit, blasting a 3-run drive off Carlos Rondon in the third, his first homer of the season, to help the Tigers shut down the Bronx Bombers. This afternoon, 4 Tigers went deep to keep a 5-game winning streak rolling, notably without Manuel Margot and Jake Rogers, as they've been added to the injured list today. And staying with D-Town, the Detroit Red Wings look to slow down the surging Montreal Canadiens tonight as they meet for the 4th time this season in a must-win game. Detroit, 36-33-7, have a chance to edge within 4 points of the Montreal Canadiens, who currently occupy the second wildcard spot the Wings are gunning after. Alex DeBrincat continues to power the Hockeytown offense with 35 goals, and the Red and White will need him tonight as the Canadiens come into the matchup hot with a 5-game win streak, spearheaded by Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki's goal-scoring synergy. The Red Wings won the most recent matchup between the two teams, 4-2, and will aim to even the season series and hopefully stay alive in the race for a playoff spot tonight. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock and at the Bell Center. That's all I have for sports. Back to Toby and Aubrey at the desk.
Thank you for that sports breakdown, Dylan. So how do you feel about the Red Wings game, Toby?
Well, I think it's a must-win situation here. The Canadians are red hot. Hopefully the Red Wings can finish it off.
Yeah, okay, so you're rooting for the Red Wings tonight?
Oh, for sure. And it's nice that the Tigers are doing good as well.
Yeah, I agree. And that's all the time we have today at Public Eye News. I'm Aubrey Huddleston.
And I'm Toby Camilli.
And we'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.